Welcome back everyone to another video. We are finishing up ranking Dragon Ball Z movies. We are entering the Super era of movies. We got Battle of Gods, Resurrection F, Broly, Superhero. All are pretty good in their own right, except maybe one. But let's jump right into it. First up, we have Battle of Gods. Now, this requires some context. Battle of Gods came out in a time where we were getting little to no Dragon Ball content other than like reruns on live TV, stuff on YouTube, and like every few years we were getting a game. Like the Raging Blast games are coming out during that time. And one day this movie kind of just came out of the blue, and it kind of like reignited that spark for Dragon Ball, which was really nice. This is such like a good like comeback as well. I think Battle of Gods does everything right, like a comeback should do. So this is a continuation of DBZ. This is after the Buu saga, but before Dragon Ball Z's final episode. And I don't remember how long this takes place after Buu. I think it's like a year or two later, maybe. I don't really know, but it does everything good. It introduces Beerus and Whis, who act as the main villains, or Beerus is. He's the main antagonist of the movie. We are shown, like, basically the concept of a god of destruction is introduced, and that's kind of like the big takeaway in the Super Saiyan God form. But I think this movie it mixes the charm of OG Dragon Ball and Z so well together. Like the Pilaf gang coming back as kids was nice, even though I am like a part of the side that thinks like Mai getting with Trunks, even though she's like 50, but like in a kid's body. What else? There's a lot of references that I like. The humor is also pretty good. Vegeta's bingo dance will always like make me smile because it's just so peak. Oh yeah, and there is a few moments where like a lot of characters like try to fight Beerus, and I mean they all get like negative diffed, but like it's still a thought like they actually got screen time and tried to do something. And Goku versus Beerus at the very end is just genuinely one of the best fights in all of Dragon Ball, in my opinion. Especially when Goku is like fighting like all the rocks falling on him, and it's like starting to like overpower him, and he just like screams, "I will not let you destroy my world," and then like Hero, the Song of Hope, starts playing. Genuinely one of the franchise's most epic moments. And Beerus sparing the planet, that was also like pretty nice. Now, I don't know like what the consensus is on Battle of Gods, but Battle of Gods is my favorite Dragon Ball Z movie, so I am putting it at the top of this. I can't really name anything wrong with Battle of Gods, other than that Beerus, like the argument that Beerus is too strong, but then again, he is a god of destruction. He is going to be strong.
Alright everyone, listen up! Gohan's trick is over! Now it's time for the main event of Bulma's birthday, the Bingo Tournament! Bingo! Bingo! Bingo!
Okay, he's been drinking more than Gohan.
Fight time bingo! Ha! This is a fun place to be, oh yeah! The food is tasty too, yum! Let's go play, oh, let's be friends, oh! Fun time bingo! It's time to play some bingo!
We have Resurrection F. Now, unlike Battle of Gods, I do know what the common consensus is on this one, because Resurrection F is not the best. So basically, in secret, across the whole universe, the Frieza Force has been working, trying to resurrect Frieza, and they sneak onto Earth and use the Dragon Balls to revive him. And basically that's how he comes back, and when he comes back, he does like a week of training and unlocks a new golden form. That's really it. Oh yeah, in this movie we also see Super Saiyan Blue for the first time. So that's kind of basically the whole gist of the movie. So I will now talk about things I dislike. So in this movie, it kind of calls back to early Dragon Ball Z, where the side characters or like the other Z fighters would have to fight off the main enemy until Goku arrives. They kind of do that here, where it's Gohan, Piccolo, Tien, Roshi, and Krillin fighting the Frieza. Oh yeah, and Jocko. They fight the Frieza Force, which is like 10,000 members, and they have to like fight these guys until Goku and Vegeta arrive, because they're on Beerus and Whis' planet for a majority of the movie. And so, I do really like the Z Fighters versus the Frieza Force. Don't get me wrong, it's really good. But at the same time, everyone struggles with these, like, Frieza Force members. And these aren't, like, named, like, Ginyu level characters either. These are, like, fodder. Like, actually fodder. They're fodder to the point where Piccolo throws his clothes on two of them, and that takes them out of the fight because, like, his clothes crush them. So, I mean, I don't really remember Piccolo struggling that much. Tien struggles pretty bad, but I do think he defeats his portion of fighters. Piccolo beats his portion. One thing I really dislike is that Krillin actually doesn't defeat his portion and actually has to get help from Gohan, which not a big fan of. I'm not a big fan of Gohan in this movie either, because it just feels like every other time we see Gohan, the whole plot point is, oh, Gohan, you gotta keep up with your training, you've gotten too weak. If, like, Gohan is just gonna come back and just be told, hey little bro, you gotta get back to training, can we please just stop bringing Gohan back? Like, I'm not, like, hating on Gohan. I really like Gohan. He is, like, a top tier character. But I'm so tired of Gohan coming back just to get low diffed by the enemy and told he has to start training again. I'm really hoping after Superhero, and now that he has Beast, I'm really hoping this whole plot point is stopped, because we have been getting this, like, throughout all of Super's entire run. Basically everything after the Buu arc, Gohan has came back as like, hey Gohan, you gotta train. You could be the strongest. You could be, potentially. Gohan is unfortunately the potential man of Dragon Ball. But anyway, back to Resurrection F. So eventually the Frieza Force is defeated and Goku and Vegeta arrive to stop Frieza and fight him. And after they fight him, Vegeta goes to kill him, and Frieza kind of just like rage quits and blows up the planet. And Whis like rewinds time and Goku stops him. And they defeat Frieza and they let him go. Yeah. The same man that just like destroyed your planet, they're letting go. And I get it. It's Goku. Goku is like, he doesn't like killing. But he's spared for like, hey Frieza, let's get stronger and fight again. Like, it's not really a complaint, it's more of just like, the stupidity is like off the charts. But I cannot give this movie higher than C. I think under Path of Power. I think that's a good place to put it, because I do like it more than like. Did I like it more than Slug? Yeah. I think this is a good spot. Second and second.
Hello, monkeys.
Next up, we have Super Broly. Now, this is. I'll get this out of the way. This is one of the best animated pieces of fiction I've ever seen. The animation in this is beautiful. Story's pretty good. It canonizes Broly, which a lot of people really, really liked. Because just a lot of people like Broly. So, another thing I really like about this movie, the first like 30 minutes is spent all about the Saiyans. And I really like that because I've always wanted to see more about the Saiyans. In this, we got to see Frieza, like, we got to see King Cold giving Frieza, like, his army, because it used to be the Cold Force. Then he gave it to Frieza and it became the Frieza Force. And so Frieza took control of Planet Vegeta. We got to see King Vegeta. We got to see Paragus, who I do like Paragus a lot more in Super Broly and Z Broly. We're introduced to Broly, who was sent to a planet called Vampa because the king feared that he would become stronger than, like, his own son or himself. And then Paragus goes, like, he basically takes another Saiyan named Beats with him to Vampa, and they go find Broly. And while that's happening, back on Planet Vegeta, Bardock and his wife, who I really like both of them. I really want to see more of Bardock in Super now that he's actually like canonized, because Super Bardock and Episode of Bardock from Z, they're basically two different characters, or they feel like two different characters. They send Goku to Earth, and back on Vampa, they find Broly, who's killed like this giant monster when he went Ozaru. And to like conserve food, Paragus kills Beats, and I'm pretty sure they eat him as well, because I think Paragus wears his armor or something. And then let's see, Broly and Paragus are found by two new characters named Limo and Chilai, who are a part of the Frieza Force, both for different reasons. Limo is like a mechanic, and Chilai is a criminal, and she just wanted to escape the Frieza Force. And they find Paragus and Broly and take him to Frieza. And Frieza meeting two Saiyans, and he hears how powerful Broly is. He's like, oh, I can take out those monkeys on Earth. So they go to Earth, and Chilai and Limo are getting tight with Broly, and they take a device from Paragus where Paragus uses to shock Broly to like control him. And when the fight starts on Earth, Paragus doesn't have that device, so Broly just starts going on a rampage. And in this movie, it is also confirmed that Vegeta does have Super Saiyan God, and they both have Blue now. So yeah, it's basically just the rest of the movie after like the 50-minute mark is just one long survival test against Broly, which definitely not complaining. That is what a Broly like movie should be. It shouldn't be a fight, it should be a survival test, because Broly is a beast. And Goku and Vegeta have to leave the fight because they realize they can't beat him and they need to fuse. And they leave Frieza to fight Broly, and we get arguably Frieza's worst beatdown in the whole franchise. And after that, this movie also canonizes the best fusion in the series, Gogeta. And Gogeta versus Broly is just chef's kiss, absolute peak. They're fighting so hard that they break reality, and it's to the point where Chilai and Limo have to use the Dragon Balls and wish Broly back to Vampa, and that ends the fight. And after the fight, like a few days later, Goku finds them and he's like, you know what, Broly, I like you, we should hang out some more. And you can call me Kakarot. And yeah, Broly, that basically sets Broly into return for future Super content, which is really nice. And I really like Super Broly. It's gonna be S tier. I think I know where it's gonna go. Because ultimately I do like it more than Z Broly. It is just Wrath of the Dragon and Fusion Reborn I'm unsure about. Because this is like a damn good movie. Yeah, I'm gonna give it behind Battle of Gods. But look at it like this. Super Broly was like an hour and 40 minutes long. Fusion Reborn and Wrath of the Dragon were barely just an hour. You see, that's like the thing. Like comparing the Super movies to the Z movies, it's kind of unfair because the Z movies are actually like feature length films, while the Z movies were like 40 minutes to an hour. Like the first four, like Garlic Jr., Lord Slug, Dead Zone, those were all only like 40 minutes, barely. Like 40, like I think the Dead Zone was like 41 minutes. So the super movies do kind of have an unfair advantage in that sense.
Piccolo, you kinda stink at driving.
Sorry, never got my license.
And for our last movie of the tier list, we have Superhero. I am a big fan of Superhero. I know a lot of people said it was just alright. I really liked Superhero. And just the concept. So in Superhero, it does kind of reuse some stuff. Like the Red Ribbon Army coming back for like, what is this, like the third time at this point in the franchise? So the Red Ribbon Army comes back under Captain Red's son named Magenta. And basically he gets the assistance of Dr. Giro's grandson, Dr. Hedo, and they make two new kinds of androids called the Gammas. Gamma 1 and 2, I really like the Gammas. They're pretty cool. And one thing I really like, this isn't a movie where Goku or Vegeta are the main characters. The main character is Piccolo and Gohan. I really like that. I really hope we get another superhero kind of movie where I've seen a concept of like a superhero-like movie where Krillin is actually like a main character and like it'll be like a gateway for humans to get a power up to like somewhat be on par with the rest of the cast, but that's never gonna happen. So basically Piccolo is like Pan's like mentor, like he's teaching her like the basics, and like she really wants to fly, but he's not teaching her flight until she learns the basics. And it basically just spirals after that until like when the Gammas show up, like Gamma 2 tries to kill Piccolo, he sneaks into the Red Ribbon Army base. They think Bulma is running like this super secret evil alien corporation. It's a lie. And I kind of don't want to spoil it in case like you guys haven't seen it because it is really good. But basically, actually I will talk about this because there are two things that I actually thought was really out of character for like Piccolo and Krillin. I'll go with Piccolo because this kind of makes sense, but Piccolo kind of like disguises himself as a Red Ribbon Army soldier throughout the movie. And one thing he does is purposely let Pan get kidnapped by the Red Ribbon Army. And I get like he was like with her like the whole quote unquote kidnapping, but like I just can't see Piccolo like just putting her in harm's way like that, even like risking her at putting her at risk. But like at the end of the day, it's just to get Gohan to like get mad. Because when he gets mad, he gets a new form. And there's a scene at the end of the movie where the villain Cell Max is raging and he's like shooting these lasers everywhere. And Krillin is in charge of protecting Bulma and Pan. And Krillin like does not help Pan at all. I think that is extremely out of character to not. And I get like an argument could be made that he was protecting Bulma. But Bulma is a grown-ass woman, and Pan is like 3 or 4 at this point. But then again, like Pan is like a quarter Saiyan. She's got like she's already like running at like 100 miles an hour or whatever. But I think Krillin would like definitely go save her. Or he could just like have Bulma on his back, pick up Pan, I don't think he would just yell like, Pan, you need to fly. But then again, this is the scene where Pan learns to fly. So, and it happens. And yeah, Silmax, like I mentioned, he's the main villain. I've heard a lot of people say, like, they were kind of disappointed in Silmax. I actually like Silmax. I think his design is pretty cool. I think his attacks are cool. I mean, for a movie villain, Silmax is cool, but like if he was like an actual like main story villain, probably wouldn't be that much because he is just like a worse version of Cell. He's basically just Kaiju in Perfect Cell. You see, if he was Perfect Cell, people would love him, but since he's more imperfect Cell or semi-perfect Cell looking, people hate him because you know what's it called, like beauty pleasure or pretty pleasure or whatever, I don't know. So, I'm going to give Superhero. Honestly, I did like this more than Z Broly. I think I'm gonna give it S tier between Wrath of the Dragon and Broly. But that is just because Fusion Reborn and Wrath of the Dragon, in my opinion, is like some like peak Dragon Ball Z. I think these 4 movies in S tier, like the top 4 of S, is the peak. Like, this is like Dragon Ball's, like, this is some of Dragon Ball's best stories. And after that, we have like, these are just like my favorites. Like, I enjoyed these. Because I know a lot of people would not put Android 13 in S tier. A tier is just movies that are really good. B are movies that are okay. B is average, C is okay, D is just don't watch. But with that, the tier list is over. It's been a lot of fun watching all these movies, talking about them. If you guys are interested in more like stuff like this where I just talk about movies, I got a lot of ideas. Not a lot, I got 2 more ideas. I might run a YouTube poll to see if you guys even want to do it, like would want to watch that, but I'll get out of your guys' ear. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.